You're probably wondering how the fuck is this even possible, right? Although Frank Castle is Marvel's most iconic mass murderer of the immoral and unpunished, he's still a mortal with a godly bloodlust and an affinity for war, but still immortal. And surely a mere man can't defeat a god, let alone the legendary god of war himself, Ares. Unless that man's insatiable hunger for brutality were coupled with gifts from another god, the god of the legendary ninja clan, the Hand. In Volume 13 of The Punisher, the Archpriestess of the Hand formally crowns Frank Castle the King of Killers. But why would Frank Castle join a motley crew of murderous ninjas? The Hand made Frank Castle an offer he couldn't refuse, become the Fist of the Beast in exchange for the return of his deceased wife, Maria. And as the new High Slayer of the Hand, Castle targets a large weapons manufacturer and distribution syndicate known as the Apostles of War. The Apostles use their resources to create weapons the likes of which the world has never seen and distribute them to those the Punisher despises. After the Punisher shuts down another one of their warehouses, the Apostles send a Trojan horse offering one of their weapons as a peace offering. Castle declines as he is only interested in who the Apostles work for. The Apostle reminds Frank that he already knows his master's name. It is now that we see the manifestation of the first of the 5 gifts of the beast, the eyes of the beast. This gift grants the Punisher some sort of omniscience, as he is able to see the people the Apostles of War have abused, exploited, and murdered in their supply chain to develop, maintain, and grow their bloody business. He can even see the murders they haven't yet committed. The Apostle attempts to assassinate Castle as he retrieves a handgun from his stitched abdomen. The Punisher basically sleeps in Kevlar, so the bullets have no effect. After punishing the Apostle, the eyes of the beast serve Frank Castle once again as he detects a bomb wired to the Apostle's heart. He instructs the Hand to keep him alive long enough to disarm it. The Archpriestess then presents 3 distinct and prolific daggers to the Punisher so that he may select one as his signature weapon. Afterwards, the Archpriestess presents Castle before the ninja congregation as the official fist of the beast. The Punisher then takes an army of hand soldiers to invade a Hydra compound. The raid is successful. The Apostles of War had blessed Hydra with their weapons. So Castle figures he can get some answers. And he gets the answers the only way he knows how: torture. Back at the Hand Citadel, the Punisher mounts an unlucky Hydra soldier to a wooden wheel and begins carving at his flesh with his signature dagger. The soldier never uttered a name, but because of the eyes of the beast, Castle finally discovered who the Apostles of War were working for: the god of war Ares. Before Castle confronts the Olympian, he needs to manifest more of the beast's gifts. So, the Archpriestess sends Lady Bullseye and Lord Deathstrike to attack the Punisher. The two get the better of him for the majority of the fight, while Bullseye scorns Castle and criticizes his legitimacy as the fist of the beast. It wasn't until Maria Castle appeared to investigate the noise that the tables began to turn. As Frank Castle became enraged, and his burning desire to protect his wife manifested in the form of red fire, the fire of the beast, the second of the 5 supernatural gifts. Now imbued with 2 of the Hand's God's gifts, the Punisher sets his sights on Ares' Acropolis as he leads an army of 1 to kill the god of war. Ares must have been expecting the attack because he himself was dressed in homage to the Punisher and armed for battle. The long-anticipated altercation begins as Frank Castle blasts Ares with a banner cannon, which had no effect and further angered the Olympian. The Punisher then begins a series of attacks on the god of war in Frank Castle fashion, utilizing whatever weapons are available to inflict bodily harm and homicide, all while listening to Ares' fatherly scolding. The sum of Frank Castle's violent efforts only amounted to an irritated god and a broken left hand. The turning point of the battle comes when Ares, like a detective, discovers that the Hand used their magic to resurrect the Punisher's family. He then instructs his apostles to kidnap Castle's family and bring them to his altar, so that he may murder them in an attempt to cleanse the Punisher of the Hand's sickly influence and redeem his prodigal son. This enrages the Punisher as he again activates the fire of the beast, neutralizes 2 apostles, and launches himself towards Ares, dagger in hand, attempting to strike down the god of war. Although Ares counters the attack, the Punisher still manages to pierce the Olympian with the dagger, which causes Ares to bleed. Frank Castle, like a shark, quickly moves to inflict further damage and follow up the attacks with one final fatal strike. But Ares intercepts the attack, delivers sentimental parting words, crushes Castle's hands, smashes the Punisher's head into the ground, and leaves his greatest apostle for dead. Is this the end of Frank Castle?